1.
Moist Campbell fraction.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to talk about age word problems today. And there are different ways, as we saw yesterday when we saw Lucas doing that age word problem. You know, that was awesome, and that's okay too, that approach. I'm going to show you a different approach that often helps to, I'm going to use a box method, and it's a way in which you can organize information. And organizing information with word problems is essential. Learning how to do that in some way, to figure out how to put the information together. And to me, actually, these word problems, I love doing this method because it feels like magic. And you'll see why in a second. But basically, it says Tia is 3 times as old as Cassie. Okay, and then it says in 3 years, Tia's age will be 1 year less than twice Cassie's age.
What number?
In
12
3
years.
years.
In 12 years. Tia's age will be 1 year less than twice Cassie's age. How old is each now? So the first thing I do is I create a box with 2 rows and 2 columns, like this. Okay? I've got a box. And this is age now. All right? And we've got Tia, and we have Cassie, right? All right? Now, usually in the first sentence, we can fill in this first column. Okay? It says Tia is 3 times as old as Cassie. So who's younger? Cassie. So let's make the youngest person X. Remember how we used to do that? With the other number word problems and stuff? Okay, youngest person is X. So Cassie is X. And then what is Tia? 3 times as old as Cassie. How would I write that? 3X, right? Now, this is notice we've got 2 different times. We have now, and then what's the second time we have?
12.
Okay, in 12 years. Now, stop right here. Do not read.
Stop.
Right? Do not read past that. If you read all this, you're going to try to put all this in the box. Do not do that. You have to stop in 12 years.
Stop.
So the question is, if the column heading right here is age now, what would this heading be? In 12 years. So would you call that plus 12 or minus 12?
Plus 12.
Why plus?
Because it's 12 years.
It's in the
later.
future, right? So I'm going to label this column as plus 12. All right? And the only thing that now, you read anything past in 12 years. You don't read anything until this box is filled out. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. So now the question is, all I have to do in this column is I have to take what's in the now column, and I have to add 12 to it. You guys are not listening. You're not paying attention. I've got to take, for this column, I have to take what's in the now column, and I have to add 12 to it. And that's in the 12 years from now, right? If now I'm 3x, or Tia is 3x, in 12 years, Tia will be 3x plus 12, right? You get me? Does that make sense? And then in 12 years, what will Cassie be?
X plus 12.
X plus 12. That was so easy, right?
Yeah.
That was so easy to fill out. Now we can go past this place where I said stop. And we're going to actually create an equation right here using this information. But is this information based on the now age, or is it based on in 12 years age? In 12 years, right? And that's what it says. It says in 12 years. So I've got to use the in 12 years information. So if it says in 12 years, Tia's age, I've got to use Tia's age in 12 years. So I'm going to use all this information. If it says Tia, I use 3x plus 12. If it says Cassie, I use x plus 12. Does that make sense? You all get that?
Yep.
You're understanding it so far? All right, so let's try it. So it says in 12 years. So that's what we're going to use this column. Tia's age. All right, what's Tia's age in 12 years?
3x.
So I'm going to write that. 3x plus 12. We're going to do one word, a few words at a time. Tia's age. Okay, now what about will be? is, was, will be.
Equal.
Equals, right? Remember, it doesn't matter whether the verb to be is in the past, present, or future. It's still an equal sign,
I feel
right?
like we're in English class.
Right? It's going to be equals, right? Right? T is age, will be, that's equals. Now, remember how to do this with the number word problems?
Oh, yeah.
1 year less than twice Cassie's age. What do I put first?
2x.
I do put
2x
twice
minus
Cassie's
1.
age. Okay, twice means 2 parentheses, right?
Yeah.
And what's Cassie's age?
X plus 12.
X plus 12, right? I got to take it from the second column. X plus 12,
Minus 1, yeah.
and then the minus 1, 1 year lesson, minus 1. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Let's just double check. T is age, 3x plus 12. Will be equals 1 year lesson, that's the minus 1 there. Twice Cassie's age, twice Cassie's age. We got it. So now we have the equation, and when we solve for x, this is the weirdest thing. We used in 12 years information, and when we solve for x, what will we have? We will have Cassie's age right now. That's, to me, magical. Okay, so let's do it. We have 3x plus 12 is equal to, use my distributive property, 2x plus 24 minus 1.
Subtract 2x.
So I'm going to subtract 2x, subtract 2x. That gives me x plus 12 is equal to 23, right? I'm going to subtract 12. X is equal to 11.789124.
Yeah, that totally.
I'm kidding. Okay, it's just 11. X is equal to 11. So, am I done?
No.
What was the question?
3 times x is 33.
How old is each now? So, where do I have in my chart their now ages? Right here. So, I know X is 11. Cassie is 11. Tia is
33.
3 times 11, or 33, right? So I write that out. It's written in words, so I have to write the answered words. Cassie is 11. Tia is 33. And I put it in a box so Gary can find it, and you're all done.
Yay!
Fist to 5. Does that make sense?
Yes.
4.5.
Fist to 5. I just want to see it.
4.5. 4.5.
I mean, it's okay to be confused at first. All right. All right, so that should have been in your notes. And that is the first question on the homework, or on that sheet, the classwork.
I did it on my sheet.
Yeah, I did it on my
Yes,
sheet.
just write the answer down on the homework now.
Oh,
just right-
I did the notes on my sheet.
Okay, so you want to also put those in your notebook, okay? But you can do that later, right? You can do that later.
Cool.
All right. So now that you know the process, let's go through.
The second one.
Let's do the second one.
The second one is x plus 6 and x minus 6. And
Hang on a second. I got to write it down.
And then the third one is x plus 8.
Okay.
And here is x.
So number 2.
And 4 is 2x.
Number 2. Andrea
X minus 2.
is 6 years older than Mira. 6 years older than Mira. 12 years ago, is that going to be plus 6 or plus 12 or minus 12?
Minus 12.
Minus 12, right. 12 years ago, the sum of their ages was 30. How old is each now? Okay, so let's use our same process. Let's use our box, right? We've got, what's the first column called? Age now, or I'm going to just write now.
Yeah.
And what's the second column going to be?
Minus 12.
Minus 12, 12 years ago. So that's going to be minus 12. Now, what do I have to think about after this 12 years ago?
Stop.
Stop!
Stop.
Stop! Otherwise you're going to try to put 30 in here. You're going to try to be do all sorts of weird things, right? None of that goes in here. We do now. First statement, first sentence, tells us our now answer. Andrea is 6 years older than Mira. Mira is X. The last person is X, right?
Yeah.
The
So
youngest
Andrea is X plus
Okay,
6.
so this is Mira.
X.
And who is that? Andrea.
X
So we have X, and this is what? Six-
plus
X plus 6, 6 years older. Now, what do I put here?
You put X
plus
minus
6
You put
minus
X minus 12.
X
Wait.
minus
X plus 6. X.
What is X plus
no, you
6
do X
minus
minus
12?
6 and X minus 12.
Plus 6 minus 12 is minus 6. Don't you agree with me?
yeah, X minus
Right?
That's what I said. X
6
and
minus
X
12 is negative 6, right?
Yeah, X
So I could
minus
do
six.
X minus 6.
Yeah.
It just keep it simple, as opposed to writing X plus 6 minus 12, right?
And then X minus
And then this is just X minus 12.
12.
All right, so now I've got the box filled in. Now I can go past my stop, right? So 12 years ago, that means I'm using this information. Whenever I say Andrea, I use X minus 6. Whenever I say Mira, I'm using X minus 12, right? So here we go. So okay, 12 years ago, the sum of their ages. Whose ages? Andrea's and Mira's. The sum of their ages. What do I do?
X minus 6 equals X minus.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait,
The
no. X minus 6 plus X minus 12.
X minus 6 plus, that's sum, right? X minus 12 is equal to, was, right? 30. Great, that was easy, right? So what do we have? X plus X is 2X. Minus 6 and minus 12 is minus 18, right? Equals 30.
Plus 18.
What? Where did I get what?
No, minus
Somebody asked the
plus
question.
18. Yeah. Plus 18.
What's the question?
Negative 18. So you add
All right,
those.
so I'm going to add
18.
18 to both sides. And that gives me 2x is equal to 48. So x, whoops, sorry, I'm going to divide by 2.
X equals 24.
X is equal to 24.
Plus
So I
6
come
is
back,
30.
I come back to my, they ask how old is each now? So here's my now column. X is 24. So Mira is 24.
And Andrea is 30.
Is 30. Pretty easy way to solve these. They're making a little more sense the second time through.
Yes.
So, Stacy, did you put this in your notes or did you
Yeah.
put it? All right. So now you can start putting them on the paper. Okay. You don't need to put them all in your notes now. Just put them on the paper. Okay.
On the paper.
All right. All right. So why don't we? I'm going to stop the video. Actually, no. Before I stop the video. Let's turn the page over, and on number 7, we're just going to do number 7 right now. Okay? Because it's slightly different.
Are we doing it in our,
Yeah, do this in your notes as well, actually. Because then you'll have, so 7. This is number 7. It says Gary is 50, and
You're 50?
his son, Gideon,
Wait, where is this?
it's not his son's name really, but that's okay, is 18. In how many years?
on the back.
Oh, right here.
Number 7. We're on number 7. Sorry. Right? Number 7. In how many years will Gary be twice as old as Gideon? As old as Gideon. And I've asked this before. I mean, many times kids they'll read that and they'll say, that's impossible. That's
It's not.
impossible.
It's not.
But it's not impossible, right? So it's an age word problem. So immediately I'm going to try doing my box.
I like boxes.
And I have now. This is my now column. Now what is this column?
Then.
No, in the future.
Yeah, then.
What is, it's usually the first few words of the second sentence. What does it say?
And how many years?
Question mark.
then,
So is that, what are we, what are,
one.
We're not trying to find out their ages. We're trying to find out how many years
we're
it will
not,
take.
yes, we're not even being asked to find out their ages. We're being asked to find out how many years will it take for their ages, for Gary's age to be twice as old as Gideon. Does that make sense? So they're asking for this. This is what I'm solving for. In how many years? It doesn't say in 12 years. So if I don't know, what do I make it?
Question mark.
No. X. And it's plus X, right? Because it's in the future. Does that make sense? You see that? In how many years? That's plus X. So we've got Gary and we have Gideon. Okay, so Gideon, Gary is 50. Right now, so what do I write? I write 50. And Gideon is 18. And then what do I put here?
50 plus X.
50 plus X and 18 plus X, right? All right. Okay, so now, this is the trick. This is slightly trickier than the other one, only because it's written as a question, and you're going to write an equation, which is a statement. It is not a question. When you write an equation in math, it is not a question. It is a statement, right? Something equals something. So what you have to do is change this question. You guys listening? It's important. Change this question into a statement. It says, in how many years will Gary be?
Oh, Gary will.
So Gary will be. That's what we do. So we're
so
talking about this
50
column though,
plus
because in how many years? Gary will be.
Plus X.
Are you guys seeing that? Logan, does that make sense to you?
50 plus X.
Okay,
is equal
Gary,
to-
50 plus X
is equal to
will be is equal to Gary will be
twice as old. So
twice as old
2
as
times
18 plus X. Right? Does that make sense? Pretty easy, right? Now you just solve it. So we've got 50 plus X is equal to 36 plus 2X. I'm going to subtract X. And I'm going to subtract 36 at the same time. Why not? And then suddenly I've got 14 is equal to X.
Yes.
So X is 14. So what did I solve for?
14.
What is 14?
The number of years it will take for Gary
Yes.
to be twice as old as Gideon.
In how many years? So, in 14 years. Does that make sense? You see that?
Yeah.
So, slightly different. All right. So, now what I want you to do is just practice some of these, right? And if I'm going to turn this video off, and if you want to do any together as in, with me up here, that's fine too, but not with the lecture. I mean, not with the video.